What's up guys, my name's Landon and I am here with my first video on YouTube. So today I am making a video for the Raptor Reptiles 2017 Bearded Dragon giveaway. So first of all, I just want to give a big shout out to them guys over there. They're doing some great things this season. They actually just expanded. They now have 2 breeders. Now they have one in Michigan. They expanded. So yeah, they're doing some great things over there. And really like everything they do. I support them 100%. And yeah, let's just get into it. Alright guys, so here we go. We're just going to jump right into it. So this is the cage I built. It's a melamine enclosure, similar to those that they have built over at the Reptiles. So as you can see, there's sliding doors on both sides. And that guy was actually just eating. I gotta throw that out. And yeah, here's the current bearded dragon I have. It is a male. He's about 4 months old. And so I do have 2 vents, one on this side, one on this side. 45 watt heat bulb with the Raptor Sun 10.0 bulb. Nice little basking spot. And all of this is actually made out of tile. So as he walks, it'll take care of his nails for me. And basking spot over there, basking spot over here, so if he wants to get out of the heat. This is what I do use to feed him. He can kind of walk up there and eat. It's also another little hide spot. And I do have a thermometer back over there to kind of monitor how hot it gets and whatnot. And another feeding dish. And I use this. He does get mistings every other day, along with a bath. He alternates daily. This is the calcium I have for the meantime. It does have the D3 in it. It's just Reptical. I will be switching over. I do have an order sent in from beardeddragon.co, but we'll talk more about that here in a minute. I use this to keep dubia roaches in. I gotta go pick up some more today. And yeah, as you can see, it does have some greens. I'll show you what greens I do use in just a minute. Yeah, say hey Smokey. He's like, yeah, I'm not into this. What's up guys? And we are back. So, here is the main source of greens that I use are these turnip greens. He loves them. He eats them pretty good. They just work. So, yeah, I think we will switch it back over to FaceTime, and I will talk to you guys a little bit more. So, let's go. What's up, guys? And we're back. So, all right. So here's the thing. Now I'm going to talk about exactly what I do, in depth as possible, without making this video, 30 minutes long. Just a brief rundown of what I do. So, first, let's start off and let's talk about the beardeddragon.co order that is in place and should be getting here within the next couple of days. So, the first 2 things I got were cleaners for the cage. I got one cleaner that was a fairly stronger cleaner that I would use once a week to clean that cage inside and out. And the second cleaner is just a kind of a daily cleaner. It's safe to use around reptiles. And just a little spot cleaner, just in case, if he poops in the cage, I can spray it down, wipe it down, and it's good to go. And the third thing I got was a bearded dragon wash. So, if I ever see he got poop on himself, I can put it on a little brush, scrub it down to that one little spot, wash it off, he's good to go. Now, with that being said, you do not want to immerse him in the bearded dragon wash. Like, let's say you put it in the water in the bath, because it's not safe for him to drink, and sometimes when they are in the bath they will drink some of the water, so it's not safe. I do not recommend doing that. And some other things I got was a big bag of calcium with D3, and I did get the multivitamin, the liquid multivitamin. And just like they said in the Reptiles video, if you buy that, you have got to weigh your dragons to make sure you get the precise amount of liquid. If you don't have a scale, do not do it. Use dust, be on the safe side, guys. And I also did buy alfalfa powder for my feeders that I do plan to start a colony here pretty soon as I gain more dragons and gain more knowledge. And I think that's all that was in that order. Oh, I did get some, I think it's called silver solution, just in case dragon gets any cuts or anything of that nature. I can put it on there until I can get him to a vet if I feel the need to do that. And I think that is it as far as that order goes. Talked about the cleaners, talked about the calcium powder and things of that nature. The little scrub brush that I did order, and yeah, that was it. So another thing I did want to talk about is those UVB bulbs. You have to replace those every 6 months. I don't really know if that's common knowledge. It may be, I may just be preaching to the choir here, but you have to replace those every 6 months. Even if the bulb is still going, even if it's still burning, it's still lighting up the cage. The longer those bulbs run, the less UVB it will be putting out. As far as my schedule, as far as like a daily schedule for my bearded dragons, it would go something like this. The light is automatically turned on at 8 o'clock in the morning. I let him get warmed up for around an hour, hour and a half, depending on how he's acting, maybe even 2 hours. But somewhere in the neighborhood of as early as 9 o'clock and as late as 10 o'clock, I will feed for the first time. And that normally looks like maybe a little bit of greens, just depending on if he'll eat them or not. Sometimes he's just not in the mood. And but for the most part, he'll eat anything I put in front of him, which is great. I know a lot of people have problems with their bearded dragons not wanting to eat greens, not wanting to eat so-and-so, but mine, he'll eat. So normally around 9:30, normally, I will put, a few dubia roaches in there with him. He'll destroy any of them I put in there. And I'll give him as many as he wants and within like a 10-minute period. After 10 minutes, I'll stop, cut him off, because he will eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And what a lot of people don't realize is these small ones, they need as much food as they can within that 10 to 15 minute range, within reason. And those all get dusted with the D3 powder to make sure that he gets the amount of calcium that he needs. I'll also put in some greens in the morning, and I'll let him eat that. And then, so you gotta let them digest for at least 2 hours in the heat before messing with them, before bringing them out of the cage, maybe to play with them, to give them a bath, to spray them with water, whatever. Give them at least 2 hours to let them digest all of their food properly. And then, so now at about probably mid-afternoon, early afternoon, I might try to give him some more, maybe some fruits and vegetables, maybe just a really small portion. If he's hungry, he'll eat it. If he's not all that hungry, then he won't eat it, and we're still okay. I'll pull that out of there within, let's say, 30 minutes if he's not even interested in it. And then, in which, if he has eaten, I'll give him some more time to digest that food. If he isn't eating anything, then I'll go ahead and pull him out. And depending on what day it is, I'll either give him a 15 to 20 minute bath, or I will give him just a misting, and I'll just let him get out of the cage for a little bit. If he's feeling it, if he's not, I'll just leave him alone, let him do whatever he wants to do. And then, so now we're going on to later afternoon, about 6 o'clock. I don't want to feed him for the last time at any point after 6 o'clock, because after 6 o'clock you reach that 2 hour period that he needs to digest his food in the heat. So sometime before 6, normally 5:45, 6 o'clock, I'll give him his last meal, and that normally looks something like some dubia roaches, or maybe even some crickets, depending on what I have available. Crickets, I don't like putting an excessive amount of crickets in the cage, just because if 1 or 2 gets left and I don't see them, they can bite bearded dragons, any reptile, really cause harm, and I don't want that to happen. So normally I stick with dubia roaches, and yeah, So basically that's the day planned out. That's what I always shoot for to happen. You know, of course, you know, school, work, whatever I got going on may affect it, but somebody's always at the house. I can call them and say, hey, throw some roaches in there, feed them, you know, whatever needs to happen. So now I want to get more in depth with my cage setup and just kind of talking a bit more in depth about that. The full width of the inside of that cage on the inside is measured 24 by 36. It's a nice big cage. I don't know the exact gallons, but if I had to guesstimate, I would guesstimate around 55 to 65 gallon tank. Plenty of room to fit my little guy. Now I want to talk about why I want to win this bearded dragon. Well guys, I've seen what y'all produce, and y'all are producing some great looking animals, great looking reptiles, and y'all are just doing some great things. Y'all are my #1 breeder out of anyone, and I would love to win a dragon from y'all if I could. I really hope this video was informative to anybody out there who has a bearded dragon, anybody interested in owning one. And if you're here watching, you know, I would always recommend going to Raptor Reptiles to buy a bearded dragon. So yeah, I will see y'all guys in the next video. I did forget to mention that both lights are ran on a timer. It comes back here, the wires come out right there, and my timer is right there. I really hope you guys can see that. It's just a basic Lowe's timer. It was like $10 or something. Both of these are set. They run from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. They get turned off automatically. But yeah, now we'll move on to the greens I'm currently using. So I will see you in the kitchen.